Welcome to ConCast, where the fandoms unite, with a Boba Fett swagger and the Jedi's in sight. It's a comic book cocktail, shaken and stirred. We're the coolest cats in the whole nerd herd. Grab your badge and strike.
Hey, cool cats.
Hey, how you doing?
So I'm good. Is that your little whiskers there, Timo?
It's my little west side.
We're not going to relive cats, okay?
Sorry, I'm making my shares.
Someone tells me you would not be above showing me your butthole, but is that Frank? Never mind. Anyway.
No, you got to pay for it just like all the other OnlyFans people.
I've paid. Maybe not as much as you, but I've paid.
Oh, yeah. Now I've already seen it, so I'm still paying.
Daryl, I'll show you anything you want to see.
All right. I got one more share, and then I'm all caught up.
He's giggling like it's a fucking joke.
Oh, so I'm going to throw this out there right before we do the podcast because we're still flabbergasted. We were downstairs. We've been doing all this work, getting the Venmo set up for Scallywag shows this weekend and stuff. And we're talking about these shows we're wanting to take on the road, the Drunkards and Dragons and different things. And then we're talking about what we're doing at Tsunami, just different things. And we were getting in the conversation so much that I was like, let me check the time because we got podcast here in 20 minutes. And I looked, no, we had podcast in like 3 minutes. So we ran up real quick.
You missed one of my calls.
And I missed one of your calls and it was in my pocket. I don't know how that worked out. But
you were just excited about the vibrations.
That was it. But we're all good now. We got plenty to try to talk about here. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get chats up here. There we go. Live stream chat's what I'm looking for, right? Studio chat's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, the live stream chat. Let me do that as well.
What is the live stream?
Live stream chat.
There we go.
And all right. You got it going? You rocking and rolling?
Rocking and rolling. Matter of fact, while we're here, I'm going to send the Burrow another text to see about next week. Make sure we're all good there. But because next week we should be doing our live show on October 1st at the Burrow. So
very much so. We kind of missed out on doing that this month. We are very bad children, but we will make up for that this coming month at the Burrow with their whole new lineup. And that's the thing that gets me is we didn't play around in there. Well, hold on. We did. The last time we were there was right after that was August.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I need to get back there because they recently put up a new photo and I noticed up in the upper right-hand corner of the photo, freaking Enterprise up there. I got to go check that shit out. All right.
There's a full-size Enterprise or is it a photo of somebody on the Enterprise?
Well, it's a model.
It's a model. Okay. I thought you were talking photo. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Full-size Enterprise? Yeah, that's what we have here. Yeah,
but no, I didn't mean a full-size Enterprise. I meant like a picture of somebody on the deck of the Enterprise or something. No.
Because
they got that whole wall of very impressive photos of them with celebrities and stuff. So,
yeah, they do. They have definitely that is one of their passions is going to different conventions and getting to get their photos taken with different actors. So that's super cool.
See, I always do it wrong. I do that like when we're behind the scenes backstage and I'll see a celebrity or something. I'll be like, hey, can we get a photo real quick? Or we got it on stage together and we'll get a photo. And then it'll stay on my phone and never make it to the internet and it'll just sit there for you. I got phones in the other room that I've kept the phones just because I'm like, I got to get videos off of those or pictures. And then I never do.
Yeah. So you should really do that. Although, I remember our times with the Scallywags, there was a lot of times it was, here's this person and we can never share the photos or videos that we have taken.
Yeah. I noticed once we started getting larger as a group, we had a couple of those where we did stuff with celebrities and then they would email us or get a hold of us and go, hey, is there any chance you could take that video down? We had one comedian we did, and he was a great guy. I'm not going to mention a name because he was really cool. He put us 1 degree from Kevin Bacon because I think we were like 3 degrees from Kevin Bacon before. And he was in a movie with Kevin Bacon and then did a deal with us So, and we filmed it for a DVD, and I was like, oh, great. Now we're 1 degree. And he did one joke for our DVD that we put online. And it was a stupid, just an easy pirate joke. And he got a hold of us once he started doing corporate events. And he goes, every time I sign up for a corporate event, they ask me about this video you guys had. Wasn't even dirty or anything. It was just us all in a bar doing a bar show with, who was it? Some big band that went on and like they performed with Volbeat and got on their album and stuff. I can't remember who it was. And so he's like, yeah, if you guys could just take that one down, just because like me performing with all these other people looks great, but me performing with you guys looks, So.
It's a little sus. I've definitely lowered the bar. Yeah. Okay.
The thing is, we understood immediately and put it down. But yeah.
All right. But
So-
other than that, how's your week gone?
I had a good week. It's my wife's birthday, so we got to go do cool stuff. We, among the many things we did, 2 of them were the Van Gogh exhibit, which I told you guys about. And I'd say that was my geekgasm this week for sure. The Van Gogh exhibit. It's not totally geeky, but I'm a art major, so it was, oh man, it was, the only thing that would have made it better would be a nice edible before I went in. I don't know if you've ever seen what it is. Like there's one huge room that's just projections everywhere and it looks like fish are swimming around you and stuff. I sat there in that deck chair the whole time thinking, man, if I was a little baked or had a couple drinks before I came in here, it would be a whole different experience.
I actually
Oh, there's
saw
Berto. Hey,
something.
Berto.
I saw something interesting the other day that was adult corn maze.
Oh yeah.
And basically,
An adult
was-
corn maze, does that just mean hands come out of the corn every once in a while?
No, not adulterer corn maze.
Oh,
Adult
okay.
corn maze is basically just throughout the corn maze, which I'm assuming is a relatively easy corn maze, is just different little bar stations. So as you're going through with your friends, you're getting drunk.
That's a good way to make money at it, I guess. See, my
That
first
is
thing
that.
was, because I think corn maze, I think haunted house, and I know you guys have heard the story. I won't even go into the whole detail, but our first or second year we did Big River Steampunk, Bones, Jamie was with us, and we got asked about doing some big S&M party that they do. And it was like a big annual thing where people come in and they take us to their S&M church, which was the size of a city block. So the first story is the S&M place. The second story was a giant haunted house. And then the third story these people lived on. And Jamie, because he knows that community well, he bonding with them when we're talking about doing this show. And then they're like, hey, would you guys like a tour of the haunted house? Sure. And it was an adult haunted house because there were only 2 people working and Jamie got grabbed 40, 50 times in the dark, like a lot. So I just thought of that immediately because Jamie's like, yeah, that was a whole different adventure for me than it was you guys because they knew I was one of them. So
I'm just trying to picture the difference between a normal church and a S&M church. Instead of forgive me, Father, I have sinned. It's Daddy, I've been bad. What is it?
well, I'll say the internal decor was a bit different. I know at one point when we're down, because it's an old.
He was hung this long.
Yeah. It was an entire city block, this church. I mean, it was huge. And but it had been dilapidated. So these people bought it privately and fixed it up. And the people that owned it before them had turned it into like a theater venue. So the basement was already done up theater style, which they didn't need. They wanted it for like the haunted house and the live-in, but they're part of this community. So they're like, well, we'll just do this down here. And it was very professional. There was like a bar in there. It wasn't like somebody had just said, I got a sex dungeon in my basement. I mean, there was a bar. They had things set up for viewing, different rooms for different classes. Like they did S&M classes. They took us down to show us where we would be performing. And then they're like, and afterwards, you guys can join any of the classes you want. And they opened the door. And I remember it was like out of a bad skit. They opened the door and there was one of those X's, like you see where somebody strapped the X and they're like, and if you guys want to use any of this equipment, feel free. And the first thing that went through my head was just the word, ooh, just like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't bring a black light. No.
You know that.
I'm sorry. And can imagine, my mind, when you said S&M classes, my mind went immediately to Hermione going, and swish and flick. And
You know what I thought about? I mean, I wasn't there for that one, but immediately that makes me think of old Blind Pew in Kansas City.
Oh yeah, he would have been there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and the gallon of latex he had. Shit.
Did Pew or Miles, Pernacious, something
I
like.
can't remember. God, I miss that dude.
He was a fixture at the Kansas City Ren Fair, and then he started hanging out with us too, and he was also a fixture at St. Louis Ren Fair. But he would come down to Wichita, and he'd party and hang with us, and then in the evenings he would just disappear. And he would, since him and his wife,
well,
that was the thing. They would go and sell I made leather shackles and stuff for my booth, and they would sell those for me like nobody's business. And he says, I'm not going to sell these. I'll sell them for you later. And I was like, you lazy bitch. Okay, fine, whatever. So later when I talked to him, I go, you want to go to dinner? He goes, I can't. I'm going to dip a girl in latex tonight. I'm like, yeah, funny. I guess that's funny. And he's like, no, I'm really dipping a girl in latex. Like, you're from Kansas City. You're in Wichita and you found somebody to dip in latex. Oh, it's a whole group of us.
Well, it's not that you found somebody who wants to be dipped in latex. Is you found a vat of latex to dip her in.
That's a lot of it. So he would take my shackles and things, leather I was making in the Ren Fair that sold for like $35, $45. And then he would come back the next day and go, I sold them for 120 each. There you go. And tons of stuff like that, because he knew his clientele and he knew how to sell a certain kind of thing to a certain kind of people, we'll say. So,
well, it's like,
that was my phone.
Like, speaking of that, I had gone down, not that rabbit hole, all right, but I had gone down the rabbit hole of people. I mean, I think it's just, we are of the age, we're Gen X, we're of the age that we're starting to have too much disposable income. All right. Because I had seen something on the Book of Faces, and that led me down, and there's a dude, there's many dudes, all right, but there's a dude 3D printing really good little play sets for your Star Trek dolls. Right? They're not action figures, they're freaking dolls.
I'm going to argue this one, but go ahead.
3D printing these here's the whole, Shuttle Bay 2, with the shuttle and everything like that, which I admit he did a really good job, designed it himself, so it fit the action figures and everything fit just fine. But he's selling it for like $800, $1,000, $1,300 for something you can see the 3D printed lines on.
I think that's a lot of my Ghostbuster groups, because I look at stuff I printed and that I have like sitting on a shelf right over here. And I'll go, that was a cool, fun project. And then you look at one of the groups and somebody's got it up for like $1,000 in one of the groups. And you're like,
yeah,
holy moly. And then you think nobody will buy it. And then a week later, you found out somebody bought it.
I got to say something though, just between you and I love you, Daryl. But when he said Star Trek dolls, immediately, didn't you just think, yeah, those fucking Star Trekkies?
Well, they call them dolls because of the kind of people that play with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're action figures for us because we're all manly and stuff about it. So, no, I'm just kidding. I got plenty of shit that it's pretty much dolls.
Yeah.
Especially when I don't do any action with them and they sit on a shelf, then they're dolls. They're not action figures. If I was playing with them.
Well, it's like I am making right now there was the same gentleman, a different gentleman, who on printables.com has a whole bunch of different, Star Trek props that you can print off and stuff like that. All right. And he has this one whole thing that is like the emergency medical kit with all the different props in it. And each of them is a different, prop, and it's all one big thing. And I've been having fun this last week, printing it all out and putting it all together and doing everything. And then just for poops and giggles, I had scrolled down, and at the bottom of the, description on printables, it's like, oh, and if you want to buy it already done, here's my Etsy site and my eBay site. He's charging like $300 for this thing that I am, where is it at? That I am 3D. It's around here somewhere. Screw it. I was making it. Anyway, yeah. So all these different props and stuff that you and I are just having fun chucking out, and it's like, oh, that's great. Now, where am I going to put it? people are making and selling, man.
I know it's like I see my Terror Dog head, and people are selling those things between $800 and $1,200 pretty regularly. And
Yeah.
I thought about making another one just because this one didn't look as good as I wanted it to. You know, it's like, but I'm also not printing right now because otherwise, Timbo's in my office right now, staying in there, and yeah, that would keep him up all fucking night. It's not like I'm gonna just pause my prints when he's not in there. So, yeah,
No, you can't. I thought Gabe was going to grab one of those and take him into his apartment.
he is. I said I wanted to get in there and do a little work first, and it being the week of our local home Ren Fair, Great Plains. Busy to the point where I called you tonight and said I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get stuff ready, which I still have news stories for tonight if we need. But yeah, because I know we're gonna watch a couple trailers tonight because new stuff's come out, and I do have two quick stories I wanted to go over. Hey Mac, I saw you tried calling a minute ago, but I was doing this. Sorry, can't remember where I was going with that now. To the trailers.
Oh yeah,
no,
and let me see. My Geekgasm for the week was I went to the local monthly meeting of the International Plastic Modelers Association because these guys have some skills and I want to learn the skills. And although these guys also most two guys are doing like Gundams, all right, and everybody else is doing historical military models. All right. We'll get to that in a second, Roberto. And they are, oh my goodness, these guys, they're older. Once again, I'm one of the youngest guys there. They're older and they can't just build a ship. And this one, it was originally commissioned in 42, and then it went through a refit in 43. And I'm like, oh my god, dude! I just wanted to know how you did the photo etch.
You said modelers, and my mind took a minute because I thought you said bottlers, plastic bottlers, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, why is Daryl wanting to put our mead in plastic bottles? This is fucking. No. And then you started going. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. Sorry.
Yeah, but I had taken the Orville that I am building with me to show off, and I think I hooked another. Yeah, I think it's plastic. It's a model. All right.
Well, yeah, I was thinking Star Trek modelers. Yeah.
But I think I might have hooked another couple people on 3D printing. So that's always good, when I can spread
a couple of these 3D printing places should just be paying you to sell printers. Because even Kelly got a hold of me today. Or was it Kelly? No, John Kipp got a hold of me today asking me about a model or a 3D printer, and I almost just sent him to you. I haven't had time to get with him on it all yet, but he's got one that he's been watching that's more expensive than I would pay for a printer. But I'm also a cheapskate. But I'd say I know you sold my printers to me. The new one I'm going to be buying, Gabe, Josh, they're all going to be buying the same shit that you are. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I should be one of those influencers that has a YouTube channel. And then all of a sudden I'm getting free printers sent to me so I could debut them to people.
Yeah. Because even like
that's always a dream.
With this podcast, as low as it is compared to, like if I put stuff on WAG stuff, yeah, it'll get a lot of traction on here. Percentage wise, for the amount of people we have on here compared to the amount of people that will buy your printers, you're batting pretty fucking high.
I am. There's this one lady that I sometimes watch her shorts on, like the reels and stuff like that. And she's got a great little shtick that she's doing because she just talks about different filament. Ooh, and this filament is really cool. So she is constantly being sent new filament by all these filament companies. So she never has to pay for filament. And she's getting all the cool multi-phasic color, all the different kinds of stuff. They're sending her everything. And I'm like, okay, you figured it out, lady.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to get that audience and then you can, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where are you 20 minutes in? I know we got trailers and I still got two things I want to talk about. Cookie, do you have a Geekgasm?
Well, man, I just been working on my game stuff this week, which we can't talk about right now.
Oh, for Tsunami?
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot to bring this last weekend.
Oh, the one you printed, yeah.
Yeah, the thing for your game.
I figure
Tim.
I'd get it at the Ren Fair this weekend.
Okay, I'll bring it then.
Cookie was hoping to have the times and stuff for his games this weekend, but we're giving Eric and them a little, just with the move and everything, making sure they get everything lined up before we start throwing our shit at them. So we're just giving them another week. So hopefully by this time next week, we'll be able to tell you what the times are.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you got going too, brother.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm not rusty again, because that means I would be.
Yeah, you're good enough GM that I think you're going to be fine with that. You'll be able to keep them going. Nobody's going to get too tight on the rules at short games like this.
Well, yeah, I'm only doing the Star Trek Into the Unknown. I'm not doing the RPG stuff because, someone never told me when he was doing it. So I didn't know.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what we're doing. We're figuring it out. Just like the Smoker show this weekend, we're improv in the whole fucking thing. Just
no, you guys never do that.
Yeah, no, we don't want to practice our improv. We want to look like it's just a chaotic mess. So
like you're fumbling. Yeah.
Yeah. I should be checking what people are saying over here. Oh yeah, Kristen already signed up for a couple games. What was I? Oh, on the Geekgasms too, something I didn't throw in because I'd said there are two places we went that I really like. We went to a couple places, but the other one was a place in Wichita called Dockham. I just want to give them a shout out because they were super fucking nice. But it's in downtown, they've got a speakeasy. One of them where like you walk through, knock on the door, got to get approved to get in, all that stuff. And the drink specials are, and we even talked to them because they're like, oh, we'll get performers in here and do little bits. Because I just said that stage over there would be perfect for coming in and doing like a WAGs thing, maybe bringing in Totally Lost and doing a show there. So I'm definitely going back to that place. And I think we're going to do a big thing, invite a bunch of people like the WAGs and stuff and just go in and just go enjoy the place. Because it was a really cool, neat thing to go do. So I thought you were getting attacked from behind for a second.
Sorry. By a bastard one.
No. All right. So Geekgasms aside, I got two quick stories, not big stories. I just want to go over them real quick. One was Sans Japan this last week. We had a cosplayer get kicked out of the con and is facing charges because, and I have been looking and trying to get all the details. So if somebody finds a good news article on this for me, please send it. But she threatened to blow up another cosplayer's booth at the convention. So, of course, this is taken as a bomb threat at the convention. She got kicked out. It has probably ruined this cosplayer's career. But I have not been able to find anything about the exact wording she said. I've found interviews with other people there at the convention about it, what they think about it, what other conventions should be doing, what people that don't run or go to conventions thinks conventions should do about it. Like I've even heard that every convention should be checking the social media posts of everybody that buys tickets.
Holy
and I'm
cow.
like, are you fucking nuts? How are you going to do that? Especially since most of them all have their own fucking 3 to 5, social media platforms that they fucking put stuff on, and they have their cosplay name and their real name, and
everybody that buys tickets. How would you do that when people are buying tickets at the door?
There's no way you could do it. It's not realistic. But
no, people overreacting. And keep in mind, all right, first off, whatever she said, as someone who is more than just a patron, she is, patron, if not a little bit higher. She should know to watch what she says. All right. You got to be a little bit more circumspect if you're at that level. All right.
Like I watched,
wasn't it just like a couple years ago here in Wichita? I forget at what store it was, but there was a bomb threat. All right. There was a bomb threat.
Made national news.
It made national news because the guy walked into the bathroom and said, "You better leave because I'm about to blow this place up." And
as he's walking into the bathroom,
that is a bomb threat.
Yeah, and that's what some, like I was watching Cinnamon Toast Ken cover it, and he was pretty much like, we don't know if like she was at any point they figured she probably meant a bomb, but they couldn't find anything either. So they're like, for all we know is she goes, "I love that cosplayer. I'm going to post her on social media and blow her shit up." you don't know.
Exactly.
You know,
She could have been that way. She could have been like seriously supporting.
so that's about the only reason I'm even talking about it on here, because I wouldn't mind finding a good article. I'm going to look more later so I can talk about it some next week at our live show at the Borough on Wednesday.
And if that's not what she said, that's a good defense if you're watching, babe.
Yeah.
I mean,
take notes. Yeah, we want to support the girl who wanted to blow up the con.
Yeah. No,
Also,
I was
I saw
all about supporting them.
Steven over there giving us hell. You practice. Which Steven is this? I can't pop it up without looking. It just says Steven, and I know 20
Let
of
me
them.
see if I do this.
Because some of them.
Stephen Thompson.
Oh, good. That's one I can say, shut up, you son of a bitch, because I know him well. So, yeah, you watch me practice real quick on the way to stage when I go, what are we doing? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had to make sure which one it was. And
Okay,
Berto
now
says
what was your second story?
Berto did respond. Sorry, the girl joked about blowing up gamer subs both over a minor sub deal, but yeah, no one takes that stuff like a joke. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
She said, I mean, also playing a villain like Harley Quinn. I know she cosplays Harley Quinn a lot, but was she playing Harley Quinn when she made the joke? Because you could also say some of that was in character. I just don't know. I don't know.
No.
I don't want to defend somebody that I don't know what the fuck they said.
Exactly. We don't even know who the fuck it was.
And there's Sean.
Right.
Hey, Sean, how's it going, man? Thanks, Cookie, for being awesome. Breakfast during Big River.
Yay!
That's better than Kelly getting on here and going, fuck off, Tim.
Yeah, I know.
So there's that.
Right.
And then the other one. Oh, go ahead. So the second one was, I watched a video this week, and I've been debating, but there's a guy, Papa Meat or Meat Canyon, if you guys know him on YouTube. He's a very popular YouTuber. He got popular for doing animations. He now does mostly like podcasting kind of stuff, but he's out of Kansas City. I've met him before at Planet and stuff, but I watch him. I love his animation. He went to, when we're at Big River, he went to the opening weekend of Kansas City Ren Fair and did a review of it, talked to a lot of our friends, and his videos get millions of views, that kind of shit. So talked to a lot of our friends, people we performed with on stage. Some of them he didn't have favorable things to say, but I really like the guy and I understand his perspective. But he was like, I don't know, I could give the Ren Fair a second chance, but it wasn't really fun until we drank and we ran into like some of these monks and stuff that were having a good time. And so he just posted this not long ago. And I was like, man, we're going to be up there the final weekend. He didn't know about any of the smoker shit or any of that. He did say he didn't like comedy shows at Ren Fair, but he thought they should be historical. But I've thought about reaching out and saying, hey, my treat, I'll take you guys all to Ren Fair final weekend of KC. You can come. We'll escort you to the smoker. We'll take you behind the scenes, see all the shit, work with the Kansas City Ren Fair on it, and try to get some better publicity for the fair and show them it's not, public perception of Ren Fair isn't always what people think. They look at one thing, they think it's like a traveling carnival. It goes from state to state, that kind of stuff, and going, okay, well, if you want more family friendly shit, this is the area you go. Main Street shit, what everybody sees, and then the debaucherous underbelly. But there's the fun shit for adults that they don't always put on the flyers and the posters, but it's there.
Smoker in Kansas City would not be
It's not
what
a great
I would
one.
want to take them to.
It's not a great one, but it's it could be fun. I mean, I haven't been the last couple of years, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm debating on reaching out to him and reaching out to our friends, we have friends that are management at KC and seeing, but it also could be a horrible idea because I still worry about, I sent another email to Theo Vaughn's people today about me being on that podcast. And I worry about that because I might get on that and end up looking a fool, and we could get Papa Meat out there and just look like idiots too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, we'd be able to deliver us, and I'm sure he'd love that.
I hope.
But it's everything else. Like if we take him to a smoker, Kansas City smoker,
you don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know. But I'm mentioning on here too, because I know a lot of our friends are on here. Look up Papa Meat's Ren Fair. I think it's Ren Fairs are the worst or something. He titled it. Well, it doesn't.
If you've noticed, Berto says that he knows him somewhat and can get in contact with him.
Oh, really? Well, I might be interested. I might get a hold of you if I decide to get a hold of him. Because I haven't checked this out with management of KC or anything yet, and I haven't talked to all the guys. I'm going to talk to him this weekend and see if it would be a good idea.
I'd rather see him come down and see our smoker this weekend than do something with him in Kansas City.
He got bored at KC. He would get real bored at Great Plains. That's not against Great Plains, but he'd get
Well, that all depends on how quickly you can get him drunk.
Right. Yeah, that would be part of it. But that would also probably, after watching this video, that'd be part of my goal, maybe there, at KC as well. But I think if you took him around and introduced him to the right people, because like he went and he met Francois that we did shows with last time, who I think is a great performer. And he said, I really liked what I saw of him. And, but then he followed it up with, but then I watched him give that same spiel to the next two people that came up. And I felt so unspecial that I didn't like it anymore, because it was just, he could tell it was just a script and just a spiel. And if I was there, I would have taken him and Francois and I would have created an environment for stories and things like that. So it wasn't, because I'm sure he saw Papa Meat as just another patron coming through, and you do have to repeat those spiels continuously. It's part of performing. But if you can tell he's either not having a good time, you might go out of your way either to avoid him or help him.
Or this Papa Meat guy needs to learn in a setting like this, you get your dopamine hit, you move along, all right, and don't hang around and think it's going to be special every fucking 30 seconds.
Well, I kept watching the video going, what they needed was a tour guide, because they hadn't been since high school or something to a Ren Fair. And so they remember it in high school and going for years and it being like the same thing over and over again, they said. And so they came in, and I've talked to a lot of people like this. It's like, I haven't been to a Ren Fair in so long, I don't even know what to do. What do I do? Where do I go? Like, they sat and watched one show, and that was the joust. And those of us that do Ren Fairs all the time know jousts get really fucking boring unless you're a horse person. I mean, nothing against jousts. They're great for the right kind of people, but for a lot of people, that's not what you're looking for. It's that the fighting is not exactly authentic. It's you got to have the right joust.
Well, they're also, doing extremely dangerous sport there. So everything has to be super scripted and everything, has to be done out. And
sorry, I just saw Erdo with, he knows many of my boobs. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, that's what I was pointing out earlier.
I didn't hear you say the boobs. My bad.
Well, no, I was not going to repeat boobs.
I
don't care how much you find it titillating. See what I did?
Wow, that was funny.
No.
But anyways, what was that? What was that old line? What is tat? Where do I get it? And how do I exchange it for the other thing?
I've not heard that one, but okay.
I forget. I heard that when I was a little kid, and it stayed with me ever since. But anyways, so let's go ahead and start rolling on these trailers. Everybody, it's a trailer kind of show. And I went through and farmed up a whole bunch of trailers that I have not seen. This morning, the mighty algorithm, the random god of numbers had started me down the rabbit hole of different trailers. And there was a whole lot there that I personally had not seen yet. So I started sharing them out. And then I was like, well, we should just go ahead and talk about them tonight on the show. So I've got I have 8 of them lined up, and then Cookie here reminded me that he sent me one. So I have 9 lined up now that we can go ahead and take a look at. Some of them have only been released in the last couple of days. Some of them have been out for like a couple weeks, but I had still not seen them.
Okay, I'm already guessing in my head which ones they are, because I don't know any of them yet, so we'll see.
All right, let's start off with the one that Tim sent.
Star Wars is back, baby.
Right, hold on. Yeah, sometimes we wish it had left for a while.
Shut out. One of these strong female. Yep. All I got to say is God bless Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jon Favreau, too.
And Jon Favreau, yeah.
What you didn't catch was he leaned over and went, Sigourney Weaver, strong female character. And I was like, in everything she's in, motherfucker. That's, yeah.
I think they've been listening to our podcast.
And I did enjoy the fact. That Sigourney Weaver's character was just not impressed. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the Force. Leave my salsa alone, you little shit. And so I enjoyed that, and I liked the whole Hannibal crossing the Alps thing with the AT-ATs. That was kind of cool.
I was going to mention that because One thing Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni both know is so many Star Wars projects go, well, we got to give them new aliens and new shit, which is good. What we really want is the old shit in a new way, you know, and Mandalorian has delivered on that, where they can give us a lot of that stuff in a new way without ruining it. Hopefully. I know some people
that's what you got to worry about, because there's only so many times Uncle Ben can die.
Right.
All right.
But if you gave us Uncle Ben in a new way, like maybe some prequel shit where Uncle Ben taught Peter how to fight or something before he was Spider-Man or something.
Yeah. So he was like the Spaniard in the Highlander.
Say again?
The Spaniard
So
in
he was
Highlander.
like the Spaniard in Highlander.
Yeah. Yeah. Berto would put Star Wars as just a ripoff of RoboCop. And only in Berto's mind could it be it ripped off something that came out 15 years before it. But yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Well, so what you don't understand, the reason that Star Wars cost so much to make is they had to invent time travel so they could go ahead in time, grab the script to RoboCop, and bring it back and make Star Wars.
All right. So then, since Star Wars is a ripoff of Flash Gordon and Star Wars is then a ripoff of RoboCop, does that mean RoboCop ripped off Flash Gordon? And again, my fandom wins. So
whatever.
No, because then again, Flash Gordon went for it anyway. All right. Our next one that we have, let me see.
I think they all ripped off Seven Samurai. So
was what?
We all know that. All right.
Yeah.
This one is called The Bride. All right.
Oh yeah, I just watched this one today. Yep.
Bastard. All right.
No, I'd like to watch
it. I might be able to get behind that. That looks cool.
I was following it a little bit for a while because from what I understand, this is the modified version of what they were going to do for the Dark Universe. And then they said, well, we're still making some of those movies, right? And I thought, it's going to suck then. I didn't know they were doing this 1920s vibe with it and stuff. So it just came across in a trailer today and I was like, the fuck, and watched it. So it was almost like watching something I didn't know was coming out.
Yeah, it was real Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing going on there.
I think that's just enough to make it different, but yet still familiar enough to you that you want to see it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in that 1920s mood lately, though, like going to that speakeasy the other night, which I'll say, I don't know if you guys know this. One of the reasons I decided to do that for Christy's birthday is Christy's great aunt is Bonnie Parker.
That says a lot.
Really,
I understand a lot more now.
Well, it's actually, I think, Christy's mom's great aunt.
I heard you.
What'd you say, sweetie?
She said, fuck you too.
Fuck you. No, to the point, like, we've gone with her family and stuff to go look at old locations they all used to live. We went to a house in Oklahoma once that still has all the bullet holes in the outside where they had a shootout once. But that's her Parker side. Yeah. So, it makes you wonder, huh?
No, I don't want to.
One is
hang on. Sean said they're all derivatives of Hamlet.
Yeah, when we were talking about Seven Samurai and all the movies.
And Berto says on this one, vaguely interested in The Bride, like the team, but hate the production company. I didn't see who was producing, I guess. But sorry, go ahead, Daryl.
Okay, so this next one is apparently like a whole mashup of Stephen King stories all into one reality. And it's called Welcome to Derry, because they all take place in Derry, Massachusetts.
Yeah, he's done a couple like that before, like the TV shows and Cat's Eye.
Wow.
Yeah. We have 25 disappearances. 7 confirmed.
Angie's gonna love that.
I know trailers like that totally ruin it for anybody listening to the audio version because all they're hearing is scream and but I think that's the Welcome to Derry series on HBO, and it's just this season is it. Am I correct on that? If anybody's watching,
like I said, this is the first I've heard of these.
Steven, if he's still on, might be watching it because I know he's a Stephen King fan. He's matter of fact, Steven, I was just thinking of that too. You wrote a song specifically about Derry. You put as a bonus track on your albums. What was that song a parody of? Like, it was based on something. I can't remember. If you're on, let me know in the comments.
I can't go to Derry because I'm lactose intolerant. What? Sorry.
No, it was, I just can't think of it now. But they did one as a bonus track. I was like, you guys got to send this to Stephen King. It would be good. But I'd also worry about getting slapped with some kind of copyright thing or something too. But I think King would be on board with it.
Yeah,
But-
sometimes it's best just to stay off people's radars. All right.
Yeah.
So the next one is a new one that came out 2 weeks ago. It's got Mad Mikkelsen, Sigourney Weaver, and some other dude I can't pronounce his last name. And it's called Dust Bunny.
Oh, this is not what I thought it was. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see this one.
Need your parents.
What a monster eat your family. You seen something you shouldn't have seen?
I know it's real.
You think you know?
You think you know.
That is the movie I thought it was, but I saw an entirely different trailer and it gave it a very different feel for the movie. But you put Sigourney in anything, I'll probably watch it. Really, you put Mads Mikkelsen in anything, I'll watch it. There's a 2 dozen actors like that you just dad actors in it. You know, Sam Rockwell, some of those. I'll watch it no matter. Real quick up.
And like I said, this just hit the feed and I liked it. So I went ahead and shared that one. The next one up is called, go ahead.
Christine said I really did like Castle Rock, which was also Stephen King. That might be the series I was thinking of instead of this one. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and Roberto said that it's complicated, but there's a lot of Easter eggs in the trailer, and yeah, there were. I mean,
you see it. Yeah,
the Shawshank and all kinds in the fog and all the stuff like, or the mist, I guess it was.
Well, there's a number of the older movies even before he got his rights back where they would just drop those, like Needful Things was just nothing but fucking Derry Easter eggs through the whole movie, you know. And then even like Cat's Eye and some of those others, they'll throw Easter eggs from his other stories in. So some people pay homage to him pretty good like that. But, you know, now he owns the rights to most stuff. So I don't know if it's creativeness or if he's injecting some of that shit, because I assume he's consulting on this now. But,
well,
I don't know.
I would hope he'd be consulting because this all came from his mind and it's all, you know, based around the area the type of area that he grew up in and the time period that he was growing up. So technically, in his mind, this is all one big reality world that he has created. So he'd know the best way to shoehorn everything together.
Well, I hope so, though. But, you know, you got to remember, too, like Maximum Overdrive, not only did he write that, he directed that, and he still got it wrong. Like even now, today, he'll go, that was my worst movie yet. You know?
Love that.
In fairness, he was coked out most of that movie, but still.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give a little bit to the Colombians on that one. Right. This next one is Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage. Apparently, the first trailer came out like last year. This is the new trailer for Brothers, which has them in it and Jennifer.
I thought the movie already came out.
Maybe this is Brothers
Maybe it already
2.
came out. I don't know. I haven't seen it. So
yeah.
Let's find out. Let me see. Share.
No, this is Brothers.
No, that was pretty close. Are they re-releasing it, or is that from last year?
It's got to be from last year because I've seen that and it's great.
I've not seen that trailer. Although they had me more convinced they were brothers in this because they're talking serious, and then one of them goes, "I got to go take a shit." It was just like me and my brother talking.
I know. Okay, so that one's been out for a while. Like I said, these are all new to me, and that one just looks fun. Right. This next one is...
If you haven't seen it, Daryl, you should watch it.
I probably will. This next one only came out 7 days ago. It's called Anaconda, and it's got Jack Black and Paul Rudd. And this one looks fun, like the Brothers one.
He would have wanted.
Yeah, that's one that when I knew they were making it, I was like, man, that doesn't seem like the right casting for an Anaconda movie. I didn't know it was going to be quite this much of a comedy. And
I would like to point out when they first said that they were going to be remaking Jumanji and it had Jack Black in it, none of us thought it would be good.
Yeah, but anything with Jack Black,
I like Jack Black.
And I like Paul Rudd too. I mean,
but yeah, I do get when Jack Black does tend to play himself a lot more than he does a character. Yeah, no, he looks good. And that third guy in there, I can't remember his name. Last name Zahn.
He played in Sahara.
Yeah, I always want to say Timothy Zahn, but that's the Star Wars guy. But yeah, anything he's in too, usually he's pretty good. I really like him.
I mean,
even if the movie's bad, he's good.
Yeah, I forget the first thing that I saw him in, but yeah, he's always been pretty darn good in his stuff as well. Okay, now 3 more left. This next one is just a quick one. It came out 4 weeks ago, and the movie comes out October 3rd. It's called Scared Shirtless.
I don't know if I know this one.
All right. It gives me Tremors feelings.
Oh, like Tremors? Oh, yeah. I haven't seen this yet.
It's very campy.
It's right up my alley. I mean, that is definitely...
It's got that whole Toxic Avenger or hobo with a shotgun feel to it.
I just saw the trailer this week for it, and it reminded me of, for horror fans, right after Army of Darkness, we went through this period in the horror community of like all these, street level, the guy who should never be a hero being a hero. There was even one that was a plumber guy who ends up having to fight demons and shit because they were stuck in the plumbing and shit. I can't remember the name of it now, but we had a number of those, and it was all because of Ash from Evil Dead, where it's just like the guy that shouldn't be the hero stumbles into something and ends up being the badass and gets the hot girl, but he's the guy that no girl wanted to touch beforehand. That's what that reminds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
and this next one is called Deathstalker, and
is this a remake?
What?
Is this a remake of the original Deathstalker?
And it is a callback to it with the same campy monsters and everything.
Wow.
Hey, I was going to throw in real quick that the main guy from that last trailer, I can't remember his name, Walking Dead and different things.
Yeah.
He came to Wichita a couple of years ago and filmed a movie at Cowtown. Gregor and everybody got to work with him.
Oh, yeah?
Supposedly he's really awesome.
What turned me on to that trailer to begin with is I had seen a different trailer, which I couldn't find, but if you noticed, one of the characters that was in that is played by one of the guys off of The Kids in the Hall.
I did see that. Yeah, he's an excellent writer, too. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but yeah. You throw Kids in the Hall or Whitest Kids We Know or any of those in something, I'm kind of on board. Yeah.
All right, so here is Deathstalker. Now, this is going to be just a callback to those horrible Beastmaster-style movies from the early 80s.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Deathstalker. My old friend. Come and get it.
Patton Oswalt.
Oh, wow.
So it tells me it will be a little campy and a little tongue-in-cheek. If they do that with it, I'm on board. If it's trying to make a badass, made-for-TV sci-fi movie,
Like I said, I saw that, and I was all of a sudden thinking, all of the old, like I said, Beastmaster, and, just the ones where you can tell, all right, they did a run and gun on this, and they quickly set up fire pits and then filmed at night, then ran the hell away before anybody called the cops or anything. It's got that feel to it.
Definitely. I'm wondering if because same guy was Beastmaster was in Deathstalker, right? The old 80s version.
I don't remember.
I wonder if it's supposed to be like of that world, or if it's just coincidentally the same name. And
did you see that it said executive producer Slash? I wonder if that's Slash from Gene R.
I don't know if he is the executive producer, or if the guy who did it was the executive producer for some movie called Slash. I wasn't sure which way that went.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, it's the first time hearing of that one.
All right. Now this final one, this 9th one, thank you everybody who stayed around. This one is, I only chose this one because I thought the visuals on this were just epic. This one is straight out of India. This is a Bollywood full bore, but beautiful period piece, great cinematography, great all the stuff like that. I think in this trailer there's like no words, so I'm pretty sure the whole thing is probably in Hindu or whatever, Hindi, and you have to read the subtitles or whatever. But this trailer is a remastering of this guy's movies, and they just look amazing. So I
no
just
words
put
will
the
go.
last one on here just because it looks good. It's called The Man with the Man with Strong Arms.
That'll sound
is the
great on the
translation.
audio book.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just
No,
sharing.
you're fine.
One man.
Usually, this is pretty.
Yeah.
You see that? Hello?
It's crazy.
That's cool. Visually, that was pretty to look at.
Yeah.
And now I feel bad for people listening on the audio version.
Yeah.
Because
It's also, I believe it's pronounced Bahubali. Is the name of the 2 movie series, but it just looked really good. And every once in a while I have to remind myself and others, not to just look at what's coming out of Hollywood, to look at what else other parts of the world are making. Like there was one I almost did, almost showed a trailer for, is called Kraken, and it's out of Russia, and it's all submarine going up against a kraken kind of movie, and but that's all subtitles as well. And so there's some really good stuff out there. I mean, if I wasn't open to other countries' movies, I never would have seen Sieben Zweiger, Seven Dwarves, which
speaking of movies like that, I thought one of them you might be showing is they just released the trailer for Susu 2. I don't know if you've seen
I
Susu.
saw that, but my problem is that I never got off my tuchus and watched the first one.
I have not yet either. I have fallen in love with the trailers.
First one's really good. It's based on a true story.
It's like,
to the point that I thought, what can I cosplay anymore as an old gray man? And if I just do this, and I could do Susu, I think. And so I'm thinking about trying it. Just mainly because he looks like I couldn't pull off the badassness though.
I've still never seen any of the John Wicks.
What?
Hey, you know what I would suggest? Now, John Wicks are great, and I love them. But from the same people that did John Wick, they did Nobody.
Nobody's great.
And they're just releasing Nobody 2 is fixing to come out. But Nobody is almost like more realistic John Wick. So, yeah, I would suggest watching that for sure. And from what I gather, Susu is pretty much John Wick in World War II. But
Susu is based on a true story.
Susu is based on a real dude.
He was just saying,
Yeah, he was very famous. He had apparently took all of a German unit's crack that they were issued and just went berserk. It's like, you know that movie that they came out with last year, Cocaine Bear? All right.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was the human version of that.
I did not know that. Yeah, I don't know. I watched the trailer for it last year. And I was like, I got to watch this movie for sure. I had no idea they were making a second one until the trailer came out, and then now I went and looked trying to find the first movie. I can't find it on streaming. If anybody knows where to get it, I would be interested. I did find it on YouTube,
like Amazon. Susu. Yeah.
What was that, Daryl?
I was going to say there was there's certain movies I waited years for them to come out on streaming, and they never did. So eventually I just had to go ahead, pull the trigger, and buy it, like The Martian with Matt Damon. I waited years for that to come out on some streaming service. It still never has come out on just straight view on a streaming service, and that's a great movie.
Ivan Reitman's Evolution's one. Rock and Roll is another one. Finding it on DVD is tough because I think they only released it on DVD in Canada, if I remember right.
I used to have a copy of it.
Of Rock and Roll?
No, of Evolution.
Oh, I borrowed your copy of Evolution a couple of years ago, and now, like some of that stuff I have on Show My Age, I have on VHS here, but I would like a nice digital copy of some of those things.
On VHS, I have Hardware Wars.
Yeah, I do too on VHS. Matter of fact, I've told Christy I really would love to have the spare time to go through, because I used to record everything because I was such an animation nut. So, like, I recorded like probably the first year of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon when it came out back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Commercials and everything. So there's so much of that lost footage. Berto says he has a digital copy of
Rock and Roll.
Yeah, my question of
Let us know which movie. Susu, Rock and Roll, Evolution.
My problem with my copy of Hardware Wars is it came out They re-released it, and I got the re-release version that is remastered. And so they jokingly put new stuff in, just like Lucas put new stuff into the movies.
Cool.
No,
I'd be
it
interested.
was bad.
Oh, was it? I'd be interested as
All
long
of
as they
them.
didn't cover up a lot of the old shit, like Lucas, some of that old shit that isn't there anymore, I would still be interested in seeing,
That's the reason it's so hard to get some of those VHS copies anymore, because
Berto,
yeah, all of them. I saw that.
all of them.
No, it's like,
I got you don't want to talk about this on an open air line
yeah,
here.
no, we don't. We do not. No, like one of the things that always irritated me is that Lucas swore up and down that he would never re-release the original ones because they were they no longer existed. They were destroyed. They no longer existed. But now we find out, once he sold everything off to Disney, no, they're still there. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and release them at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. Matter of fact, I was bound and determined, I haven't looked through it, that I had the original Star Wars on VHS somewhere in there before they digitally redid all that shit. But I don't know where I would have got it. I know they used to show the special on TV, the Christmas special and shit. I don't know where I would have got it.
I used to have it, recorded it off of HBO.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a cabinet just right over here. It's just full of VHS tapes. And then there's one over at Gabe's apartment that's full.
Well, and here's the bad thing. VHS is not like celluloid. All right.
It'll go bad after about 10 years.
It'll go bad over time. Matter of fact, DVDs will go bad over time.
From
what I understand, one of the best long-term storage for media that, and I could be wrong, Alberto would let us know if I'm correct, is SD cards.
Over the Rainbow? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rainbow was good.
I
all the
Over the
midget
Rainbow.
in the hotel. Yeah.
Matter of fact, Over the Rainbow is a good example to go, oh, you want to see who was in Flash Gordon? Watch Over the Rainbow. A lot of Flash Gordon people in Over the Rainbow.
Yeah.
But
from what I understand, SD cards are one of the best long-term storage for media right now. They will last longer than the VHS. They'll last much longer than CDs and DVDs. Those things actually go bad faster than VHS. DVDs will.
Alberto says SSD and flash controllers last longer.
Yeah, solid state drives and flash controllers. Yeah.
With me, it's that transfer and everything. Everything takes so long transfer. You got to walk through, and like I've got anime that I know I've got some lost media anime for sure, like the original versions of Gray Digital Target and stuff. And then I recorded anytime they had like Liquid Television or MTV would do any of the late night shit, even just the trial shit they would do. Got all that shit on video, but some of it worthless. But there's some stuff in there I know, because I'll watch videos on YouTube of lost media all the time and be like, I know I recorded that. Finding it, yeah,
Yeah. No,
it's just all the WAGs tapes over there. I got 700 hours of WAGs tapes I can't get transferred.
I remember one point I was in Seattle and I went to this one very eclectic, video rental place next to the university, Seattle University. And they specialized in the more hard to get stuff. And the more rare it was, the more you had to put down a deposit to even rent it. And I remember I asked the guy, and keep in mind, this was early 2000s. This was like 2001, 2002. I asked the guy,
where was this?
Seattle. I asked him, what is the most expensive deposit you have on a video? And he said it was, I think he said like $500-$600, just a deposit you had to put down to rent a VHS in case you damaged it. And that was back in 2001. So that'd be close to $1,000 now.
Yeah, I was wondering, because I know when video stores first came out, we were one of the families that had a VHS player on the block, so it was a special deal. And my uncle, my dad drove to, because you couldn't rent videos here in town, you had to drive to Halstead, Kansas, for little bitty town Halstead. They had a video store, and I think it was $80 per movie you had to leave a deposit on.
Mm-hmm.
But that was because it was just coming about. However, we used to have a place like that in Hutch, and that is where, and I know people will go, you're full of shit, but 100%, we rented the Faces of Death movies from a place in Hutch that did that rare video shit. And that's where I first watched it. but you could just go rent that shit back in the day.
See, I remember when that stuff was out. I never understood the appeal of Faces of Death.
We just got it was the idea of it was underground and you couldn't find it.
Yeah,
That's why
I've never been into snuff films, so thank you, no.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I'm not saying it was entertaining or worth watching. It was more of that we rented it so that we could. Well, you were there. Yeah. We rented it so you could tell people at school and shit.
Oh yeah.
Guess what I watched? I saw it. That kind of
Yeah.
shit. I couldn't tell you much about it now because it just.
I was more interested in being able to see movies.
I think. Yep. Oh, you were saying Halstead, where we also rented Rock and Rule back in the day. Yeah.
No, I was saying back then I was more interested in seeing boobies than snuff films. So, I had my priorities.
I think I was interested in seeing anything I wasn't supposed to, anything that was underground or different or weird. And so even like with the pop culture shit with anime and stuff, like we'd watch anime, but then somebody'd be like, I got Legend of the Demon Womb, which is all just anime porn. It's hard to find. You're like, oh, let's watch that. The story sucked, the animation sucked, but it had titties. So, we were all watching it.
And see, that's the thing is my family, we just really didn't watch things. I mean, we didn't watch or, for the most part. And so there was my whole period of high school. I never really watched. I mean, I didn't see any of the more, popular media stuff until I went to college. I didn't even know that Star Trek had a new series out until the third.
Whoa.
Yeah, Next Generation. Never even knew about it.
See, I was there opening night at my cousin's house watching first episode of Next Gen. I remember that shit. But yeah, no, but you were on military bases and shit. It was a little different for you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, it was. But, it's because of that I also got my love of sci-fi because, Armed Forces Broadcasting Service, they would get the cheapest programming they could. And a lot of those sci-fi shows were the cheapest programming they could. And
like
so I remember as a little kid trying to sneak out, and watch Logan's Run behind my parents' back as that was on TV.
Well, I was going to say that was me, like a lot of British sci-fi and stuff, but that cheapest you could get the Doctor Who, Blake 7, all that. Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot of the same bad stuff I grew up with, but people don't also understand there's an appreciation for some of that. Like when they brought Doctor Who back, I was so glad they kept a lot of the cheesiness in it. Like a lot of that bad. Blake was another one of those where like you would watch and like on Star Trek, everybody like leans to the left or leans to the right. They'd be like on office chairs with wheels, just like wheeling around, pretending that they're getting, and you just go like, those are office chairs and those are egg cartons glued on the wall. But you liked it. It was like, look at what you can do with nothing.
Well, remember the series of Hitchhiker's Guide?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to think that was so cool, that BBC series of it back in the day. Watch it again now, and it's like, what the fuck? It's terrible.
Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers
was so bad. I remember because it was available to watch on Netflix or something, like 10 years ago or something like that. So I was watching it, and that first episode, all right, there's like all these people are on this, interplanetary transport. So like this bus going from one planet to another, and they're all sitting there in a row. And of course it's being attacked by the bad guys. So they're, like you said, they're wheeling around, and you notice those are freaking office chairs on wheels. Why the hell would you have wheeled chairs on some kind of... Yeah, it was so low budget. I loved it. It was great.
Or that's a toy pistol that they just glued like something they pulled off a car on to make it look like a laser pistol. But it looks like a 45 automatic with like a pop bottle glued on it or something. Like they do that shit all the time. Yeah.
Well, hell, look at Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. That was parts from a camera.
At least with Star Wars, that's part of Flash. They at least with them, they took a lot of like kit bashing and shit and made it look good.
Oh,
because they were creative enough. A lot of other movies are like, oh look, Star Wars did that shit, so can we? And then they didn't make it look good.
Yeah,
They're
there's
just
a difference between making it look good.
Under that bicycle.
Yeah, there's a difference between making it look good and saying, hey, I got a hot glue gun. We can do this. All right. And
which you were there for the beginning of the steampunk movement. That's what steampunk was at first too. It was
And
glue some
you
gears on
remember
it.
hearing me complain left and right. Just because you put gears on it doesn't make it steampunk. What do the gears do?
When you were helping put all that first year Emerald City and stuff together, I remember talking a lot and going, look at this thing I'm thinking about building, or I built, or somebody else built. And your question was always, what's it do? What's it do? What's it for? To look pretty? Yeah, but doesn't it do something? You know, if you put a light on it, what's the light do? It lights up. I don't know. Fucking, you know, what's that robotic arm for? To look robotic. Yeah, you know, but yeah. And you're like, well, you know, if you put this in there and that in there, it would move on its own, or the gears would move. And it's like, fuck, that's pretty ambitious. Everybody else at the con's got shit. I'm okay.
I know.
So.
I felt so bad that one time that I just threw some freaking, I threw some brown paint on a Nerf gun and slapped some gears on it, and somebody bought it, and I felt like crap. I was like, till this day, I feel bad for taking their money because it was such a piece of crap. They loved it though.
That's the way it was back at the Ren Fair days when we started vending too. It was, we'd go, because, well, you couldn't order shit. There was no Amazon or anything to order shit from back then, but we would just grab anything we could at a cheap price and go, well, let's put some Celtic knotwork on it. Let's put a skull on it. Let's put whatever. And now it is Ren Fair and we can sell it. And not like that anymore, but
no,
we've been way over now today.
Yeah,
so
we're
let
almost
me just
half an hour over.
touch base real quick on these festivals coming up. Of course, this weekend we have Great Plains Renaissance Festival, which is the 25th year, I think, of the Fall Festival. I'm thinking. So come out,
old.
join the fest.
I said, yeah, we're old.
Yeah, we're old. So it'll be, we're also going to have the smoker at 4:00. Our guests this year, because we've been rotating out guests every show, will be Say What Improv. So we're going to be doing that, kind of prepping up for the big 25th anniversary show of theirs. We're going to be doing with them next month. Let's see. So then right after KC, for those of us that are following us, River Zonce will be the 4th and 5th of October in Sioux City, Iowa. And then the following weekend, we will be the 11th, 12th, and 13th. We're going to be at Kansas City Renaissance Festival for the final weekend there.
Man, you guys are busy.
Yeah. The weekend after that is the 18th and 19th of October. It is going to be the Past, Present, and Future Festival at the State Fairgrounds in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Yeah, I saw that.
The weekend, we're not going to be at that one because I have a meeting that weekend I got to be at. But the following weekend will be TsunamiCon for us locally, which we're looking forward to, which is now at Kansas Newman College. Also in Arkansas, our friends at Renetopia are doing their show that weekend as well, of October 25th, 26th. And also that is the Topeka Ren Fair's second show in Topeka, Kansas, where we don't get to be. I really wish we could. I know when we're down in Topeka, everybody's wanting us to be there. We just can't make it this year, but we'll be back next spring for the Topeka Ren Fair. Matter of fact, that's one I think we're going to just try to book all the time, because that's another one of those shows where they totally trust us and just go, you guys be there, we'll give you your space and you do your thing. And we love that.
The fools. Okay.
And
when's Oklahoma?
So Oklahoma is the weekend after that. Let's see. So Renetopia is 25th, 26th. Oh, 1st and 2nd. I don't have anything on the 1st and 2nd of November. And then after that will be the Oklahoma Festival, Oklahoma Renaissance Festival, that we'll be at in Oklahoma City.
Also here will be Air Capital Comic Con.
Right. And Air Capital Comic Con will be here locally. And please, as much as I want people to come see us in Oklahoma, go support Air Capital if you're here. If you're in Oklahoma, come support Rich at that fair. But Air Capital here, they're some of our great friends that run that show. They're good people. I want to see that show do well. Besides, I think we're going to be there with your Star Trek group, right?
I'm going to be geeking it up with the Trekkies.
Oh, and I should have mentioned, I think it is the 27th of October. Nope, 23rd maybe. We're going to be, my Ghostbuster group, we're going to be at the Kansas, Wichita State University doing a show there. It's a big trunk or treat show. Then our final one will be the 15th of November at the Wave in Wichita in Old Town, where we're going to be doing Say What Improv's 25th anniversary show with them. So if you want to come watch us do improv, please come check that show out. We're going to do some of it this weekend, but we're going to let Say What do most of their own stuff and plan out what we're going to be doing a little bit more with them on the 25th. So
now there's just something else that apparently Jessica put on our calendar that just seems interesting, and I think everybody should know about it if they don't know about it, on Saturday, December 6th.
okay.
And that is, there's going to be a Krampus festival and oddity market at Wichita State University.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Matter of fact, I think our Ghostbuster group went and did that one last year, and I didn't get to go with.
And I
Also
think
there-
isn't that St. Nicholas Tag?
I don't know. What day you said? The 6th?
Yeah, the 6th.
Oh, it's the day
St.
before Pearl
Nicholas
Harbor.
Tag.
Well, we've had a lot of new festivals coming up I want to hit. Like Hutch is doing a new beer festival I want to go hit. There's tons of
That
stuff
is
going
St.
on.
Nicholas Tag.
They're trying to run the good guy out, man.
Do you know what St. Nicholas Tag is?
I assume it's a day celebrating St. Nicholas.
When I was a little kid over in Germany, that's where it came from, same as the Krampus. St. Nicholas Tag, it comes up, what was it, 2-3 weeks before Christmas. All right. And so what you do as a little kid is you take your shoes and you put them out in front of the door to your room. And that night, St. Nicholas comes around on a preliminary visit. All right. And he will put, for the good boys and girls, he'll put, like tangerines and chocolates and stuff like that into their shoes. And for the bad boys and girls, you'll get coal and sticks. And that
basically
gives
your
you,
stock.
yeah, that gives you 3 weeks to straighten your shit up before Christmas. All right. So you still get some presents. Now,
That's a
I'd
good
like
way
to
of doing
point
it.
out that my brother Larry, one year, my parents put coal and stick in his shoes, and then he stole my chocolates. So, that didn't make him change at all.
I was going to say this sounds like a very German thing of the be good or else. But yeah.
And that's also, it's also traditional. That's when the Krampus festival is, and that's when Krampus goes around as well and kidnaps the bad kids and beats them with reeds. Because, German.
We grew up in a very heavily German family. When we talk about German celebrating the holidays, we talk about food. I don't remember anybody mentioning Krampus shit until I got in high school. I don't remember any of our family talking about Krampus.
That's because Grandma was Ukrainian. Grandpa spent so much time there. He was born in Germany, left when he was 7, then went back to Germany after. So they were mainly Ukrainian, even though Grandpa was German.
Yeah.
And also, the whole
Ukrainians don't.
Krampus thing, that originated in a certain part of Germany. I think it was up in the Bavarian mountain area. And it's only, like, here recently that it's become such a huge thing. I mean, it was a smaller known little thing, kind of like the Tooth Fairy, kind of, smaller. All right.
Right.
But
If it wasn't for YouTube, Krampus wouldn't be as big as it is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the thing. If it wasn't for Coca-Cola, Santa Claus wouldn't be the big thing that he is. All right.
That's true. That's true.
And
I keep
that's
trying to
exactly
remind
the same
people
thing with Krampus.
a lot of this historical stuff we have, not just our holidays, but just a lot of historical stuff we have, has only been around for about a generation or two tops.
This is an amazing thing I found out. Apparently, the whole concept of the rapture, of, only the good people go up and the bad people stay here, that came around in the 1830s.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you actually read that portion of the Bible, it does say that, everybody will be called up, but it doesn't say only the good people. All right.
It depends on which version of the Bible you're reading, I guess.
That's something we're not going to discuss. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Trust me, I love the biblical scholar stuff. I love sitting there and talking about a lot of that. Well, I got Bibles in the house.
It's at the Council of Nicaea, anyway.
Or the Council of Trent. Also, Council of Nicaea is the big one.
Yep.
But yeah, I've got, this is a discussion we have a lot here. I've got Bibles back to the 1700s in this house that I love comparing, because people do that all the time. Because the idea that everybody thinks that the Bible is just like one big story drives me. Yeah. Another thing. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Constantine pulled his best fucking move back then. Council of Nicaea.
Who did?
Constantine, the Roman Emperor Constantine. he didn't want to have to fight with the Christians, so let's just take them over with a religion that I can control them with.
Yeah, and then King Henry decided to do the same thing, so he could get divorced.
So he could get divorced.
So that was my wife popping her head up and saying, supper's been done. So we got to go.
Okay, we got to get going. All right,
All right,
everybody.
we'll talk to you later.
Love you. See you. Bye.
Okay.
All right, and we are stopped.